Hey, what's up guys? This is Mjay. Welcome back to another video. It's about freaking time, eh? I mean, we haven't made a video in quite a long time. Who am I kidding? I mean, it's been forever. Well, I've been kind of busy, trying to make some money. As you guys know, there's a pandemic going on with this whole coronavirus bullshit. And work for me has just kind of slowed down. So I've just been trying to make some money and just support myself and all that blah 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 blah. Who fucking cares, right? But that actually marks up with this story that I'm about to tell you guys, and it's pretty interesting, to say the least. So as I just said, not getting as much hours as I used to. Like, my wage has been cut. Like, I've lost over 75% of my earnings. Like, I don't make shit anymore. Like, I get paid every 2 weeks and I'm not making any money. I'm fucking broke, right? But there's still some days that I work. So I was like, you know what? I need to look for a second job to do on the side. Alright, so I hop on good old Indeed and I start searching on there, and I already have kind of an idea of what I want to do. I kind of want to be like a delivery driver, like just like a job that involves driving, because I find those jobs easy for me because I enjoy driving, whatever the fuck. Well, who cares, right? I applied for a few delivery jobs, right? And there's this one truck driving job. You only need a G license to drive that kind of truck because it doesn't have air brakes. So, in case you didn't know, who cares? I'm not gonna bother explaining it. So I don't even remember what the company is called. Right? Like, I just applied for a bunch of jobs. I didn't care. So a few weeks ago, on the 17th, I believe, of September, I got a call from some guy, and he's saying he's from, I don't know where he said he was from, and he said that I called about the job, the truck driving job. He asked if I could come in for an interview on like the next day. So I agreed, and I'm like, okay, I'll come in and we'll see what happens. Alright, so he texts me the address, and on that day I go in, and first everything seems okay, I guess. It seemed alright, seemed normal. The guy was asking me questions and stuff, and mainly asking how my experience is driving trucks, right? Because since I work at a truck company. Well, it's a car and truck rental company. So they rent cars and trucks. So these big trucks are like no big problem for me to drive, because I drive big trucks all the time since I work at a truck company, a truck and car rental company, right? So he just had my resume, right? So he's like, okay, I'm gonna have you start. When can you start, right? So normally when you are in a job interview, right, like if they're gonna hire you, they'll tell you that you're being hired or whatever the hell, right? And they'll be like, okay. And then the next time you go in, you do all the paperwork, sign all the forms, give them your direct deposit, social insurance, all that good stuff, right? So you can get your money and you can get paid, right? That's how it works. But this was just an interview, so I wasn't really expecting too much from it, right? So he's like, okay, going to Montreal, whatever the fuck, right? So I'll call you. You're gonna come in on Monday, and I will call you to tell you exactly what time to come in, because I'm not sure, whatever the fuck. I don't know what the fuck he said, right? He said someone's gonna call me, He said he's gonna call me or someone else is gonna call me on Monday to tell me what time to come in, or before Monday to tell me what time to come in. So I'm sitting there waiting for that call, and I never got a call. So naturally, I didn't go in. So Monday comes around and he ends up calling me. He gets on the phone and he starts asking me why I didn't come in. So I tell him, you didn't tell me what time to come in, so I'm not really gonna come in. And I actually had to work the next day at my current job, and so I was like, yeah, I'll come in on Wednesday. Although I had an appointment on Wednesday, right? Wednesday afternoon at like 4 o'clock. So he was like, okay, mind coming in on Wednesday at 4 o'clock, and just come in the morning, and I'll just show you a few things. I'll show you how to dock the truck, because I tell him I never did that shit before. I just drive them around. So he said, show me how to dock the truck, how to do the paperwork, all that shit, right? And we'll do everything. So I'm like, okay. So he said to come at 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning. So I am there at 8:50 in the morning, right? 10 minutes early. His secretary is there, opens up the door, and I'm sitting in there waiting. So the secretary showed me around a little bit, showed me where the break room is, blah blah blah. Who fucking cares, right? Just showed me around and said that he should be there shortly, right? She even called him and he said that he'll be there soon. And so I was like, okay. So I was just sitting there, on my phone, doing my own thing, and a whole fucking hour passes that I'm waiting for this guy, and he finally shows up. Right? A whole hour. He tells me to come in at 9. I come in at 8:50, and he comes in at like 9, almost 10 o'clock. Like 5 minutes to 10. And doesn't say good morning to me, doesn't even fucking look at me. Just sends this other random fucking guy that came in at the same time. He's like, I don't know what the fuck he told him. He obviously didn't tell him anything about me, because when this guy came up to me, he started asking me a bunch of questions. How old are you? How long have you been doing this? Do you have any experience driving these trucks? Blah blah blah. He started asking me a bunch of fucking questions. So obviously this guy didn't tell him anything about me. Which, I mean, you should tell him about me, because I'm gonna be working for you guys, so you should know. So immediately that was kind of a red flag. I'm just like, okay, this is weird, right? So he brings me out to the back of the building. He's like, okay. He shows me a piece of paper. He's like, okay, that's the inspection sheet. He's like, oh, it's easy to do. Here, that's the paper. Just shows it to me. Doesn't let me do it, but just shows it to me, right? So I'm like, okay, that's interesting. And he gives me the key to the truck and tells me to park it in the bay. So I start reversing into the bay, and like when I'm driving these trucks, right? When I'm trying to park them, I usually cut the corner really tight so that I can get in there properly, right? But this is my first time docking it, so I don't really know how it is. And it's like one of those docks that are around a corner. It's like an L-shaped kind of corner, right? So it's like that. That's the best way I can explain it. That's how it is. It's like an L-shaped corner. So I'm backing the truck up around that corner. My first attempt was pretty shells. I know I was close to the wall. I was like at least like less than a foot away from the wall. I know I was close to the wall, and I knew what I was doing. But I was like, you know what? Yeah, that's not gonna work. So I pulled out, and I did a second attempt, and that attempt was good. Right? I was coming back up, and he came up to the truck, opened the door. He's like, dude, you have no experience with this, do you? And I'm like, dude, I fucking this is the moment that I knew he didn't tell him anything about me. He's just like, okay, he's a fucking driver. And I'm like, dude, I don't like. This is my first time fucking reverse parking these things. Like, reverse parking these things into a bay. I've never done that before. My second attempt was fine. So like, he got me out of the truck and he brought me inside and then told me to wait outside for him and that he'll come out and talk to me. Right? So I'm like, okay, that's weird. He's probably gonna be like, okay. I'm thinking in my head that he's probably just gonna say, hey, he doesn't know how to drive the truck, so we'll just send him on his way and just blah 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 blah. Right? That's what I thought he was gonna say, because he was in there. I was waiting out there for him for like 15-20 fucking minutes outside. Like, when I say outside, I mean like it's outside. I think he told me to wait. He comes outside and then he tells me, alright, call me after your appointment. Maybe I'll have some work after 3 or whatever the fuck, or after your appointment. So I'm like, okay. So why on earth did it take 15-20 minutes for you to come outside and tell me that? That doesn't make any sense. That's stupid. Alright, so I'm like, okay, whatever. And go back to my car. I go to my appointment later. Right? After my appointment, I call the guy. Doesn't fucking answer. I call again. Doesn't fucking answer. I message. Send a text message. Because it's a cell phone. Doesn't fucking answer. So then I'm like, okay, that's really strange. Whatever. Right? So a week or two passed by, and no, it was a week, and I was at work. I was working, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna call these guys. I start calling them. Phone don't ring. And phone don't answer. Go straight to voicemail. I had to call them 4 separate times to ask them like what is going on. Because like they haven't called me, they haven't texted me or anything. They sent me any documents or nothing. Like that whole time, just completely ghosted me for like over a week. So when I get on the phone, I'm like, okay, this is ridiculous. Like, you guys are like wasting my time. Like you need to tell me my hours and blah 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 blah. He's like, okay, we're sorry about that. We'll contact you next week. So I'm like, okay. Next week comes, they don't contact me. And then earlier last week. This is the 3rd week that I'm in right now. 4th week, or maybe, I don't know. And so last week from now, I got a text message like around on Friday or something, on Friday or Thursday, whatever, from them, and they said hi. So I'm like, okay, that's kind of a weird thing to do. Like, why are you texting me? Like, we're friends or some shit. I reply to it, and like, you'll be working next week. So I asked them what time and when, what day and time exactly, and they don't reply. So an hour or two passes, and I messaged them again. I'm like, please just tell me the time and day. Please don't waste my time. You're just wasting my time. Alright? They didn't message me at all. So now we are where we are today, where I'm just fed up and I'm sick and tired of them just ghosting me, not telling me anything. And I just call them. I start calling them. I called them once, didn't answer. Called them twice, didn't answer. I called them 4 fucking times, didn't answer. So I started texting what I wanted to say, and I'm like, in my mind, I wanted to tell them, like, am I working or not? Because you're just wasting my time. Like, I'm just gonna like rip these guys a new one. Like, I didn't care. I still don't care. So as I'm texting it, I'm like, oh, you know what? This is gonna take too fucking long. Let me just call him again. So I call him again. He answers the phone. So I'm like, what? Why aren't you calling me? Why aren't you giving me hours? Am I working or what? And he's like, I told you I'll call you. And I'm telling him, like, dude, Like, you're not giving me any hours, just leaving me in the dust or whatever the hell. You're just wasting my time. Like, tell me my hours, or like, you just stop wasting my time, right? And he starts getting all angry. He's like, oh, you've been very hostile. I haven't been hostile at all. I've been straight up. Because it's like, if you're gonna tell me that you're gonna call me for hours, and you don't, you're wasting my fucking time. There's a pandemic going on and I need to make my money. If you're not gonna help me, then you're just wasting my fucking time. Don't say that you're gonna message me when you're not. Right? So, long story short, I'm like, don't waste my time. And he tells me, well, don't waste our time either. Right? And at that moment I was gonna snap. But he hung up the phone on me. So I'm like, okay. So I sent him a text message. And I said, let me find the message. I said, quote, you guys are fucking morons. If you didn't want to give me work, you should have just told me instead of wasting my fucking time. And that's it. That's all I said. So, after that, I'm on the phone with my friend or whatever. No, I'm not on the phone with my friend. I'm doing something else, right? And I get a call from them. And they're pretty pissed. He's pretty pissed. He's like, why are you calling me a fucking moron? And this time, I'm just fucking ripping on him. I'm like, dude, you fucking come up, you tell me you're gonna give me hours. You don't. On the first fucking day, you show up an hour fucking late. Don't show me anything. You don't ask for my fucking payment information. You don't ask for social, nothing. And you're just leaving me in the fucking dark. So you're a fucking moron. I told him straight up to his face, like, you're a fucking moron. And he's getting all mad. He's like, oh, fuck you, dude. No, know your place. And I'm like, fuck you, dude. You just wasted my fucking time, dude. Right? And he was really angry. Like, he's acting like a fucking child. He's like, oh, I know where you live. Like, I'm like, come on, dude. Fuck off. Like, I just kept telling him to fuck off. He's like, I know where you live. He just kept going on and on and on. Like, I know where you live. Watch your mouth. Blah, blah, blah. He has my fucking resume. That's it. He doesn't know where I live. So that was ridiculous. So I just hung up the phone. Right? And thought nothing of it. Started calling my friend. I was telling him about it. And yeah, they call me. This guy calls me again while I'm on the phone with my buddy. And he's like, I just wanted to say that you are really fucking unprofessional. And then I just rip on him again, dude. Like, you're the one who fucking come an hour fucking late. So how the fuck am I unprofessional? Like, fuck off. I told him to fuck off. Right? Told him to fuck off and stop calling me. This guy called me so many fucking times. Like, I just hung up on him. Like, and this is supposed to be the manager of a so-called company. I don't even know what the fuck the company's called. That's how little they told me. I don't know what the company's called. I don't know what they do. I don't know their fucking names. I don't know anything because they didn't tell me anything. It's like, okay, you can come work here. We'll tell you when to come in. But they never fucking told me. They never took any of my payment information. And it's like, this guy's just acting like a moron. He's saying that I'm unprofessional. I'm looking at my call log right now, right? From that number. Like, I was deleting that number off my phone and he fucking called me. Right? Calling me and trying to cuss me out. He called me at least 7 times from that number. It got out of control. I had to block that number. And then he started calling me from an unknown number. So I just ignored that too. And then he started calling me from this other number. I answered the phone after blocking it like at least 3 times and says nothing. I just hear him fucking breathing and I just hung up. I'm like, stop fucking calling me, dude. And he calls me like 3 more times. I have to block that number too. this is a guy who apparently offered me a job, who was giving me a job, and is supposed to be the manager of this company, of a shipping company, and he's acting like this, being very unprofessional, showing up late, not telling me when I'm supposed to be in, not giving me any hours. Like, okay, if there's nothing to do, I can understand that, right? He's not telling me anything. Nothing. Hasn't called me once. Like, this is the most amount of times he's called me. Is when he's fucking pissed at me. He's acting like a fucking child. Like, dude, do you have nothing better to do? So, and I don't know, this is the most ridiculous shit I've ever fucking heard. Oh my god, it's so ridiculous. And he just tried to call me again. It just blocked his number again. Literally, as I'm recording this video, he tried to call me again. Like, what a fucking nut job. I swear to God. This guy is so stupid. Like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking heard. I mean, this guy's supposed to be a fucking company manager, whatever the fuck, right? High-end, top-end guy, you know, super important. I got everything, all that bullshit, right? He's supposed to be a very professional guy, and treats me like that, and when I tell him to fuck off, he says I'm being unprofessional, but proceeds to call me multiple times, harassing me on multiple different numbers. So, who's being unprofessional here? Because I'm pretty sure it's not me. Because I'm not a professional, right? I'm not a business guy. I'm just some guy trying to make some money. That's it. I'm just trying to pay my bills. That's it. I don't give a fuck about anybody's company. Like the company that I'm working with right now, I don't care about their views. I don't care what they do. I don't care about their company. Think I care about the customers? No. I just care about my damn paycheck at the end of the month. That's it. That's why I'm there. This ain't a fucking charity. Right? I'm there to make some money, and that is the bottom line. That's it. I'm not interested in anything else. All I care about is the money. That's why I'm there. I don't care about the company views. Alright? If you're gonna start a company, then you care about the fucking company views. Right? That's when you need to start caring. That's when you need to start being professional. And that's when you need to treat people with dignity and respect. And when you're gonna be the owner of a company, a so-called company, that apparently you say that you like your customers and you do number one, whatever the fuck, do number one. You care about your customers or whatever the hell. You make the customer happy, whatever the fuck, right? You're supposed to be professional if you are a business owner. If you're an employee, you just try and get your fucking money. That's it. You don't have to be professional for anybody. Unless you're doing customer support. That's it. Customer service or customer support or anything. Anything with customers. Then you gotta be professional. But this guy is just a fucking nut job. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. That's all I got for you guys. I mean, I know this video was long. It was like 25 minutes long or whatever. But it was kind of juicy, I guess. I mean, fuck. These stupid ass people. Like, oh my god. This is like the stupidest guy I've ever met. Oh my god. And he's supposed to be a businessman. Supposed to be somebody who owns a business. Yeah, businessman. That's what I just fucking said. That is ridiculous. I gotta block some numbers because this guy is just harassing me and saying, oh, he knows where I live and all that bullshit. Dude, how old are you? Are you a fucking child? Like, come on, dude. Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end this video here. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy this video, you guys want to hear more stories like this or whatever, anything else that happens, make sure to smash the like button because this guy is just fucking ridiculous. Anyway, Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you guys subscribing and hitting that bell notification and all that stuff. And I really want to thank you guys for 500 subscribers also. We're halfway to 1,000. I don't think I thanked you guys in the video yet. So thank you guys so much for 500 subscribers. That really does mean a lot. But yeah, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and peace out.